Welcome to the video on Nikol Pashinyan and the Armenian Apostolic Church.
There are questions that shape nations and define identities. Today, we step into one of those questions. At the World Affairs Council of Austin, we bring you the Moot Armenian Constitutional Court. Here, students confront the dilemma: what is the proper role of church and state in the first Christian nation on earth? This is not an academic exercise. This is Armenia, a country whose identity and survival are inseparable from the Armenian Apostolic Church. In every democracy, the boundaries between spiritual authority and political power must be examined and tested. These boundaries must be defined. In this courtroom, students step into the heart of that struggle. The case is the Armenian Apostolic Church versus Nikol Pashinyan. It asks, what happens when the state challenges the influence of the church, or when political leaders assert authority over 2,000-year-old institutions? Where does the Constitution draw the line? Who protects the independence of the church, and who ensures the neutrality of the state? Who decides when one has overstepped the other? These are questions of identity, sovereignty, and justice. In this moot court, students must navigate these questions with clarity, courage, and constitutional reasoning. They must argue not only what the law says, but what the law means. They must argue not only what is written, but what is right. Because in Armenia, the relationship between church and state is not just legal, it is historical, cultural, and existential. And so we ask, who defines the balance of power? Who protects the rights of believers? Who guards the integrity of the state? Who speaks for the people when their institutions collide? This is where future leaders are forged, and where justice is tested. This is where the next generation learns that democracy survives only when its citizens are brave enough to question all power. This is the World Affairs Council of Austin. This is the Moot Armenian Constitutional Court. This is where the conversation begins. We are the World Affairs Council of Austin, and this is the Moot Armenian Constitutional Court. This is the place where you don't wait for history to be written. This is the place where you shape it. We don't wait for these issues to be put into a textbook. We don't wait for the world to explain itself years later, when the moment has already passed. We do it now. Right here, right in front of us. The problems our students will inherit aren't coming in the future. They're already here. Leaders need to solve the problems of their day in real time, with real courage and clarity. That's what this court is, a training ground for judgment, a workshop for justice. It is a place where young advocates learn to think, argue, question, and lead. Why wait for someone else to define the world for them later, when they can learn to define it themselves today? That's what this program is, a training ground for judgment.